Hi, everybody. I'm Ben. I'm the certified orthotist here at Hero Braces. I want to just take a minute to give a little bit of explanation of how the braces work, and also to give you a little bit of background. Like I don't want I don't want to like saying downsides, but there's some things, some realities that you need to understand before you jump into this. And so I want to share some of those with you today too. So I'll try to make this real quick. I'll talk fast through it so you can rewind and watch again, okay? But let's just start with what is a torn ACL in a dog. So an ACL in a dog is this little ligament right in between the the knee joints, and it keeps the bottom bone, the tibia, from shifting forward when you put weight on the leg. And what happens when a dog tears it is they start to put their weight down on it, and their leg's not there, and so they pull their leg up. It can be painful, but over time it causes a lot of inflammation in the joint. And inflammation then causes arthritis, which is painful. Um, and if they can't put weight on the leg, then they keep that up and they put all the weight on the other leg. So and we have on this page, it says that 60% of dogs tear their ACL within a year, and that's what happens. And so what we want to do is we can't actually go in and fix that ligament. It's too small. So when doctors do surgery, they either change the shape of the top of the bone so it doesn't shift, or they take a medical grade fishing line and they wrap it around to keep it from to shifting. But neither of those really actually fix the ligament. We're just trying to stabilize that joint so they can start putting their weight down on it. Now, we're not trying to replace surgery, but what we're trying to do is help the dogs that can't have surgery. So we know that there's a segment of dogs that just can't have it for whatever reason, where they have other medical reasons or financial reasons, whatever it is. There's no judgment here. We just want to be able to help as many dogs as that we can, to live a full life. And so the way that the brace does it is when that tears, basically what a doctor does is they check what's called a cranial drawer test, and they use these red arrows here, and they grab onto the joint and they try to push it and pull it and see if it slides, and that's an indication that ligament is torn. And so if that's happening, then we need to provide the opposite pushes. And so if you look at these green arrows, that's where the plastic on this brace is, and it's pushing in those opposite directions to stabilize that. But it's still got a joint in the middle, so they can still have the complete range of motion. So we don't have to worry about them losing muscle mass. They're going to naturally, just because they've quit using it. Until they start using the brace fully, it will take a while for that to start building back. But we can, because we're allowing that motion, but we're not allowing this bad motion of the cranial drawer called tibial thrust. So that's kind of the theory behind it. So the way we have to do it, though, it has to be custom made. So if you or I were to tear our ACL, there's 14 different sizes for humans. So there's like 200 or 300 breeds of dogs. So do a little bit of math. We'd have to have thousands of different sizes. So what we do is we make a custom one to each dog. So they have different, some are bow-legged, some are straight-legged, some are haunch, some are not. And so we actually have your veterinarian take a cast of the leg, and that comes back to us, and we fill that full of plaster and make this brace for them. We keep this brace very light by minimizing the amount of padding we have. There's just a little bit of padding here and padding here. So this is, again, this is a consideration that I want you to understand, is there's no padding in this thigh section, and that's on purpose. And I found this out because I'm an amputee, and I have this, it's called a thigh lacer that comes around my leg. And what happens is when you or your dog walks, your thigh and it changes shape and it cycles back and forth. And so this is a fixed shape, though. And so if we try to put a fixed shape on a moving shape, they're going to shift next to each other, okay? And so there's so much, because there's so much movement in the thigh, we actually just make this really smooth so it can slide back and forth across without rubbing. If you put padding in there, it has more friction, and that's actually what rubs and causes the discomfort. I've taken the padding out of mine, and it's 1,000 times more comfortable. So that's one thing that I want you to understand when you receive the brace. But one of the big things that I want you to understand is you have to put this brace on every single day for 9 months to a year. Now, some people are coming and looking and thinking, hey, this is the magic fix. And I just want you to be aware that you still have to do this for a year. And what happens over time is scar tissue forms on the side of the joint here, on the inside side. And that scar tissue is what keeps it from shifting forward. So after about a year, once that scar tissue forms, it's called a medial buttress. Then we can wean out of the brace, and you just keep it. They step in a hole wrong and you need them to start weight bearing again. But for that year, every single day you have to put this on. Okay. I'm an amputee. I have to put my prosthesis on every single day to go for a walk. So it can be done, but you have to be aware that it's not just taking a pill and it's fixed. Okay. The other thing is I mentioned this has to be custom made. So sometimes people think custom made that it's going to have this perfect fit. I put it on and there's going to be no problems. So custom fit reduces the chances of that. But we still find that 10 to 15% of the dogs need some sort of adjustment. It doesn't fit quite right, whether the cast wasn't taken in the right position or the muscle shrunk or they retained water that day. There's lots of different reasons, but those adjustments, fortunately, we provide them for free. So it's not, hey, take this and good luck. We provide a lot of support that way, but you have to understand that there may be adjustments, that there's going to be this period that comes back and forth. But the other side of it, because it's custom, there's also no returns. So we make this specifically for your dog. If we make this for your dog and they decide that whatever else happens, it can't be returned. And so I just, we don't like bad reviews, and we want you to know that up front. But we do everything that we can customer service wise. I'll do video calls with you and all sorts of different things, and we'll have this back and forth to get these fitting right for you. We've helped thousands of dogs over the last 20 years. I started in not quite 20 years. I guess 2005 is when I started, and this is 2023 when this video was shot. So, but I want you guys to be aware of that. Our team truly cares about your dog, and we truly want to help. And so we don't want this clutter of misunderstandings starting with the process. We want to be completely open with you to begin. And if we can help you, we'd appreciate it. And have a great day.